Okay. Pre-World War One, 60 to 70% of the films in the U.S. market were imported. So we weren't making our own products. We were consuming more entertainment from across the pond. Europe, France. We weren't making our own. I take that back. We were making our own, but we were not having the same impact on the market that our counterparts, other filmmakers, were having on our domestic market here than our own films were. And this is pre-World War One. So in the U.S. Another thing that was happening around this time is the formal elements of filmmaking become more important than the narrative. Now, what do we mean by the formal elements? The formal elements, right, are... Sorry, what do we mean by the formal elements? The elements are framing, lighting, camera movement, composition, sound, rhythm, hue, texture. Right? These are elements of the script, the storytelling. These elements become more important than the narrative. I take that back. Okay, so now we get to a point where the narrative becomes more important than the element. So before they were sort of getting this craft of a story, and they had, or not even a story, but we got this camera and we can put it on this event, right? And we can film this event and then charge people to come see it. A recreation of this event, a representation of this event on the film, right? So they started looking into the formal elements of filming these events. A stationary camera, maybe you can cut a little bit into, right? But now we see this shift where the narrative, the storytelling takes precedence over those formal elements on composition and whatnot. It's like, let's tell a story now, because they're finding out that people are, like, throughout theater, people are invested in good stories, a good character. Okay, so they have this coming out. So those formal elements sort of take a back seat to the narrative, and now there's this creative effort to diversify the genres, right? Because if we're going to tell a story, now we're telling particular types of stories. And now we're reaching back into those theatrical roots, right? First act, second act, third act structure of theater. But again, remember, film is still short. These clips are very short, a couple minutes long. So we're not talking about the long stories yet. They're just clips, but they are now turning towards telling a good story. So on to the next video.